Uh-oh, did that work? Am I working now? Hello? Hello? Is it working now? Uh-oh, did that work? Hey! At least that's the cool thing about, like, me turning on the stream. I should have tested it first and then get that, but I'm kind of lagging a bit. So, I did not test that. That's the whole reason we have the test thing, so that you don't have to come on live and then go, oh, my mic, my sound's not working. What? What? That never happens. Anyways, I'm a week and 5 minutes late. Sorry to everybody for that. Hopefully we can make up for lost time. I just needed to take a week off because we can go with that in the future. Anyways, how's everyone else doing out there today? As much as I probably lost all of my viewers, I'm probably never gonna have viewers again. You've messed up beyond repair. You go 1 week without doing it, and then people get out of the habit, and then you don't have an audience anymore. This is what happens, man. This is all that happens. Anyways. Oh, looks like we got a viewer. Alright, so let's start over. So last time, we were on the trail of mystery. I can't even remember the case we were trying to solve. What were we trying to solve again? I mean, we did the case with the Prince of Spain. Oh yes. This was there's a revolution going on, and we were kind of trying to be co-opted in by the police to try to do investigations for them on this revolution thing that's going on. And then we decided not to assist, but we decided to investigate anyway. And then we found this, we're under this church, and the prosecutor, Rooster, I can't even remember his name, is in a kind of a bind, literally. And I think we had the option of helping the guy out or letting the guy on his own. So I was told that I should save the game. Oop. Okay, that's good. Did it not save up to that point? There he is. When did it save? Did it not save? That's the rooster who shot Croque Monsieur. I think it went back a bit, unfortunately. I didn't know it wasn't going to save at the point that we had done it. So I guess we're going to have a little bit of a refresher. I think we're close to unraveling this whole rebellion nonsense. Let's not dawdle, Sparrowson. We're nearly there. Alright, let me just deal with this letter first. Spam? I don't think so. It's from Kakariko. Severian. Well, go ahead, Sparrowson. Let's hear it. JJ. Hey, if this letter reaches you uninterrupted, that means I've been captured or killed by the rebels. What? Last evening, the inspector gave me a tip-off at midnight, a trade between the rebels and Croque Monsieur on Rue de Marat. So I guess I have to be careful about where I save. It has to be at the end of a day. It actually just saves between days. I can't save at an instantaneous spot. I guess that's good to know. Can I save? So if I save and quit, what does the load of previous day screen look like? Ah, okay. That's good to know. Like, I didn't realize. And by the way, I was like close to the end of the third act, I guess, so I could have kept going and should have ended it after we did it. I shouldn't have tried to do the frickin' spoiler thing or whatever. Okay, skip doesn't actually skip, it just fast forwards. It's kind of weird. Learning things about the interface here. Falcon. Falcon, you are a good friend and an excellent lawyer. I'm sorry for belittling you all these years. Kind regards, Severin Kakariko. Is this for real? There's no way. This letter has to be some sort of setup. It's Severin's handwriting. Where do you think he is? I don't know. Why would he go alone? I don't know. But we have to help him, right? I don't know. I mean, if that trade was at midnight last night, and it's 10 o'clock now, he might still be okay. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, Sparrowson. I don't know. I know nothing. I know nothing. I don't know. It looks like my thing is being a little weird, so let me try editing this a little bit here. That better? Yeah, it's a little better. Hey, Chooks. How's it going? Come on, Falcon, pull yourself together. We gotta act fast while there's still time on the clock. Sparrowson, I have a bad feeling in my gut. Well, yeah, me too. This letter is terrifying stuff. No, you don't understand. I know that if Severin isn't already dead by now, he will be very soon. And there's nothing we can do about it. What are you talking about? You don't know that. I do. I'm certain. We've messed up. We've missed something. We've overlooked something vital. And now Severin's fate is sealed. You're spouting defeatist nonsense. Come on, Falcon. Let's go visit Rue de Montes, and we might find a clue. Just a reminder, make sure you've saved or quick saved from this point, especially considering... Well, it allows you to load previous days. I don't have the ability to save a file. There's like no ability to like save a file that's separate from the days. I think it just saves on the day of the past, I think. Come, Sparrowson, keep up. No time for wheezing. If Kakariko was last seen here, then there surely has to be a clue nearby. Right. Alright, select an area to examine. Best in stationery. Come for all your writing needs, whether you need paper, ink, stamps. What are you doing? Stop procrastinating, Falcon. Kakariko's life's at stake. Come on, man. Stop reading the... It's blood. There's a pool of blood here. It looks fresh. Kakariko's? I see drag marks heading towards the tunnel, which leads straight to the Seine. If I had to guess, someone was killed here last night, and their body was hastily disposed of in the river. But I see several sets of bloodied footprints, too. Some are faint, but... they head that way toward the main road. So, he could still be alive? Let's see where the footprints go. Notre Dame! It's not on fire, which is a good sign. It's too soon, man. Here, the footsteps lead right into the Notre Dame. It seems that way. Unbelievable. Where's a friar when you need one? Forget the friar. Let's keep following the bloody trail and see where it ends up. Wait a minute, Falcon. Shouldn't we get the police involved before we go any further? That would be smart, or the police can't be trusted. Yeah, I think we went through this last time, but I mean, it's good to get a refresher, I guess. But also, lesson learned about this game. Yeah, you can't stop in the middle of a day. Also, speak up. Yeah, okay. So we have one speak up, so Should we get the police involved? Please check the video resolution. Ah, I think it's fine. Going once, going twice. You remember what Seven wrote in his letter. The inspector was the one who gave him the tip-off. Huh? What are you saying? That you think the police are in on this? At this point, anything's possible. We have to stay focused on the trail. Hey, wait up. That way leads down to the catacombs. Man, I'm famished. When is that mouthy parrot gonna relieve me of duty so I can grab a snack? The trail keeps going. Hey, isn't that the concierge jailkeeper Quack? It's Quark, you dummies. I had no idea you were a religious man, Monsieur. I'm not. I had a career change. Private security pays much better than regular old jail keep, you know. Monsieur, we don't have much time, so I'll keep it brief. We're following a trail that leads to the door behind you. We need you to let us pass. The door behind me? Huh, you idiots. That door leads straight to the catacombs. You don't want to go in there. Catacombs? And besides, just because I know how to get in, doesn't mean I'm just gonna let you pass. I've got a job to do. I have integrity. I've promised to act as a guard, and that's what I'm doing. You want a bribe, don't you? Bingo! What you got? I don't think I have 10 francs. Yeah, I have 2 francs. So I could say here's 10 francs, here's a present, here's my fist. I think I said here's my fist last time, so I'm gonna go with that. Hey! What are you doing? Monsieur, perhaps I wasn't clear. I'm short on both time and patience. Are you gonna let us pass, or do I have to beat you until you're unable to stop us? Jeez, no need to get violent, big guy. You can pass. The door's right behind me. Go on. That's the door to the catacombs? It's that simple? Yeah, it's that simple. What, were you expecting a hidden bookcase or something? Go on, go look. Heh, what idiots. They're walking straight into a pitch-black maze without even a torch. I wonder. Will they get lost and starve, or will they find the crazy lion girl and get shot? Either way, ain't my problem. Upon entering the doorway, Falcon and Sparrowson find themselves at the top of a stone staircase that spirals into the abyss below. Here goes nothing. They begin the descent. I knew an underground passage would be dark, but this is ridiculous. I can't even see the hand in front of my face. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other, Sparrowson. Ah, I think that was the last step. Now it's just twisted tunnels ahead of us. I should take up smoking. If I smoked, I would have a match right now, and we would be able to see where we're going. Plus, you know, all the health benefits. And I would probably be calmer. Keep it together, Sparrowson. I know. I'll unravel this loose thread from my jacket. We can just trace the string to find our way back if we reach a dead end. Ah, good thinking. Just like Theseus and the Minotaur. Wait. There aren't any Minotaurs in here, are there? Head of a bull, body of a bull. Scary stuff. That's not... Actually, never mind. Feels like there's a gap in the wall here. I guess the path branches. I can feel a straight breeze coming to the path to the left. The air seems a little more stagnant to the right. I think we took the breezy path last time. There's a chance that the breeze could be caused by an opening. Let's head that way. Hey Falcon, I don't want to dump on you or anything, but when you threatened Croc back there, it was pretty scary. Scary? Not really. Croc's all talk. I knew there was no chance that he would fight back. No, I wasn't scared of Croc. You. I found you scary. I've never seen you get so angry before. Severan's life is on the Rhine, Sparrowson. Forgive me for showing a little emotion. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Oh, looks like the path branches again. Are my eyes going funky from the darkness, or is there a glimmer of light from the right path? No, I see it too. There's definitely light from that side. And I remember going into the darkness and they're like, nah. It's definitely getting lighter. I could see my hands again. But that might mean we're getting close to an exit, right? Maybe this has all been a wild goose chase. Hush, listen. Voices? Voices, we're getting close. Wait, Falcon, aren't you scared? Terrified. There they are. I'll ask one more time. What is your name? Are you with the police? The Royal Guards? Speak, bird. Ma'am Burmore. Ma'am Burmore, we've been here all night and he simply ain't talking, alright? He didn't react to coaxing. He didn't react to torture. Maybe it's time, you know, to administer some justice. Justice. That word. Oh, the rooster finally crows. You know who I am? Fine. You want to know who I am? Fine. My name is Severin Cocorico. I am a public prosecutor for the Cour de Alais. Well, Sevy, it's been a pleasure. Yeah, but we can't have having any spies running around our base of operations, or can we? So without further ado, I hereby sentence you to... Wait a minute, Piero. This is no ordinary spy. 'Cause he's a prosecutor? No, because he's the bastard who condemned my father 10 years ago. Whoa! Are you sure? I had my suspicions when I saw his smug air of arrogance, his holier-than-thou glare. But now that I know his name and occupation, there is no doubt. Do you remember, Bird? Do you remember the trial of a homeless lion in the winter of 1835? What was your father's name? Jean Beaumont. What were his crimes? His only crime was trying to feed a starving child. He took a handful of vegetables from the grocer's stand, not out of greed, but out of sheer desire to see me survive. But he was seen by a policeman, another arrogant cockerel like yourself, actually. So my father was thrown in jail. He was dragged to court. I had the privilege of watching the proceedings from the stands. Legal eagles. Oh, no. Why? That's not mine. I can't say that. Gnovo. That belongs to another YouTuber. It's okay. We're kind of catching up because apparently the game saves at the day and not at the other levels. So, kind of catching up to our last to where we left off last time. Oops. I remember your sharp words. This man is a thief. This man is a scoundrel. He deserves the harshest punishment for his crimes. You didn't care about the consequences. You didn't care about why my father did or what he said. Oh, why my father did what he did. All you cared about was fulfilling your lust to see a criminal behind bars. My father received a sentence of 5 years. He died on his 3rd. Do you remember him? Mademoiselle, in all my days as a prosecutor, I have overseen thousands of cases. Not going to remember a single bread thief. You rotten Conrad. We're all just insects to you, aren't we? Who cares if a child starves to death in the streets, as long as you have enough criminals behind bars to meet your quota, am I right? Your silence speaks volumes of your guilt. Severin Kakriko, you have been tried by the people of the Second Republic. We have found you guilty on counts of conspiracy, of the murder of Croque Monsieur, and the murder of my father, Jean Beaumont. Oh, I've been found guilty. Mademoiselle, if you want to shoot me to fulfill your revenge fantasies, then by all means shoot me. But don't pretend for a moment that this mob resembles a court of justice in any form. A court of justice? Now there's a contradiction. Bird, you know nothing of justice. Frere Remus, read this man his last rites. With pleasure, madam. Falcon, we gotta make a move. Say something. Alright, so we had 1 vote for Speak Up so far from Ramir. So we have 1 vote so far for Speak Up. See if there's anyone. So this is where we did leave off last time. I left it on a cliffhanger, and I tried to do that, but I accidentally sent us like 20 minutes back. So apparently saving it started the day over again. And I'm like, oh. At least it wasn't too long, but still. It's like it was 20 minutes or so, it seems. 20 minutes, yeah. Oof. Speak up, says Ramir. Any other votes before the sentence is carried out? All right, we got Strange Love. We got Speak Up. I think that I think that pretty much resolves it. Speak up. Let's do it. All right, I'm going in. Wait, where did I get an Aussie accent from? I'm coming too. No, I need you to get out of here. Go find the police, Royal Guard, anyone. I'll stall for time. Falcon. Oh, okay, I'll go get help. Do you have any last words? Just pull the trigger and be done with it. Wait. Wait. He's right. This is a terrible trial. There's no evidence, no defense, no examination of the facts. You've dragged a man off the streets and decided his fate based purely on your own prejudices and whims. Who the pluck does this bird brain think he is? I'm this man's defense attorney. I am J.J. Falcon. JJ, what are you doing? Defense attorney? You're a raving loony is what you are. Or a spy. I've seen this Monsieur eavesdropping on our conversations before. He cannot be trusted. Hey, Summer, how's it going? Gotta run and shower in grocery store Belfast. Ah, okay. Guy going to shop or going to work? Everyone, please hear me out. Appeal to Fontaine, appeal to Piero, or appeal to Frere Remus. Frere Remus. Is that the dog? Friar Remus, you are a man of God. Surely you don't approve of this sort of mob violence. I see no issue. The good book is full of stories of violence. Joshua ransacked the city of Jericho. Ehud and the judges were ruthless assassins. Samson killed thousands before meeting his fate. Well, sure, but that's the Old Testament. What would Jesus say about this? He would say, I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. Matthew 10:34. Oh, damn. So you see, Falcon, this man's death is inevitable. For the good of France and in the name of justice, he must be killed. Justice. There's that word again. Madam, I won't presume to know who you are and what you stand for, but shooting this man right now would not bring you justice. It only serve to satisfy your desire for revenge. Justice, revenge, what's the difference? Due process, fairness, or rationality? I did try Friar. That didn't quite work. I would say due process because there's I don't know if it's rational. Like, what do you guys think? We could actually have a discussion about these three topics while you guys vote on which one. So, like, justice to me, like, I had this element, and I'm probably gonna have to do a future video on it where I said the truth came out or something or other, and the concept of truth and justice can be perverted sometimes if somebody is not thinking clearly on it. Like, because people can be driven to seek the truth or, driven to seek justice, but it needs, like, checks and balances on it. I don't think justice has a sense of rationality because I think we're all people, and I think that, like, if we're dealing with things like for example, her father died in prison after being sentenced to 5 years for stealing for his family. I think that most people would empathize with something like that. So there is emotional involved in it, irregardless if it's done through a court system or that. So I personally don't believe rationality. Fairness, I don't think it's fairness either, honestly. And the reason I don't think it's fairness is because if you've ever listened to a commercial for lawyers, right? If you ever listen to a commercial for lawyers, you always hear this disclaimer, and that is, prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome. So I don't think that the justice system is fair in that if someone does a crime under these circumstances XYZ, that it'll always come out to be correct, and it'll always come out to do that. However, the concept is that there is a due process to it, and sometimes that process comes out with the correct response, and sometimes it comes out with the wrong one. However, it's more apt to be correct than quick-handed justice, like sort of like, yeah, like if the punishment fits the crime, right? Her father died in prison. Like, how did he die in prison? Did somebody else kill him in prison, right? Or was it because of the maltreatment of the warden? Like, he did sentence the man to prison. He didn't sentence him to death. He didn't know, he doesn't know that a man's going to die in prison because he sends him there. I think due process is, I would kind of free Jaquez. But I think that that's kind of the idea here. And I think that I'll probably vote for due process. I think someone else did too. So I think that's what we'll go with. Because in essence, it's like justice in and of itself will not always be fair or blind or rational, but it should it should progress towards those things. It never will be fully healed from those things, but it's certainly better than just pull a gun on someone and blow his brains out if you you think they committed a crime against you, because that's pretty final, and that's, you know, that's not. If unjust things are done in that case, then, you know, things can't be taken back as much as if somebody gets falsely charged and then, you know, the state realizes that there could be an appeal, right? You can't appeal that, you know, things didn't go correct. Whereas with, like, you know, capital punishment, that's not necessarily the case. All right, so we'll say due process. Due process, ma'am. By following an organized chains of events, justice ensures that both sides have a fair and balanced trial. My father did not receive a fair and balanced trial. Then this is your opportunity to show the rooster how it should be done. Hey, Just Furry. Madame, surely you aren't entertaining the words of this heathen. Fine, Falcon, we'll play this your way. We shall have a formal trial for the murder of Croque-Monsieur. Excellent. Shall we head back to my office and file the necessary papers? Don't take me for a fool. You'll walk us right into a trap. We shall have the trial right here and right now. Right here, in the catacombs? It's as good a place as any. I suppose we'll be needing a judge. Oh, let me guess, the friar. I volunteer. No thanks, Piero. We're trying to form a courtroom, not a circus. Ah! Just go see how security is doing, Piero. We don't want any more spies wandering in. Radio! Yeah, of course it's gonna be the frickin' guy. Your brother already was like, perhaps I can help, ma'am. You know I'm a pious man after all. Okay, Ramirez, you can be our judge, and I will lead the prosecution. What about the jury? With all due respect, I don't trust your peers to be impartial. Look around you. As we speak, we are being watched and judged by countless of dead men and women. They shall be our jury. That may work as a metaphor, but in practical terms... it's me you have to convince, Falcon. Convince me that this bird is not guilty. After all, I'm the one who holds the gun. Well, it looks like we're ready to get started. The trial of Severin Coquerico is underway. He stands accused of the murder of the man known as Croque-Monsieur in cold blood. Now's not the time to bring up his his reptilian blood in the record. Man, you're cold, man. Cold, you warm-blooded heathen. What is wrong with you? Madame Beaumont, please explain the details of what happened. That annoyed bird singing meme? What is that? I haven't seen that one. Very well. Last night, at the stroke of midnight, 2 gunshots were heard on the Rue de Marmosets? Someone's gonna have to teach me how to pronounce some French words here. Pierre alerted us and we managed to arrive before the police did. On the scene, I saw the man known as Croque-Monsieur, a good friend of ours, lying in a pool of his own blood. Standing over the body, I saw the murderer, Severin Coquerico, still clenching his murder weapon. Am I to understand that you did not witness the crime firsthand, madame? That you only saw the aftermath? Yes, but one of us did happen to see the incident itself. Man Barrymore, I found this here pigeon running around our tunnels. I am no pigeon, monsieur. He's a spy in any case. What say I execute him right now? It's alright, he's with me. With you? He's my assistant, he carries my bags and stuff. Falcon, I trust that you do not have any other assistants lurking around the corner. No, ma'am. Then take your lackey out of my sight. Psst, Falcon. What is it? I saw someone lurking in the catacombs. I think he was watching us from the shadows. Another rebel? I don't know. He got spooked when he saw me and he dropped this. What's this? A political pamphlet? Cult pamphlet. Well, I best be getting back to the patrols then. This the small image tells you what I mean. The annoyed bird meme. I'll have to look it up. Not so fast, Piero. You witnessed the crime firsthand, did you not? I did, ma'am. Then you can be our first witness. Go stand in that corner. Okie dokie. Do I need to say an oath or something? That won't be necessary. We trust you. Just tell us what you saw last night, Piero. Okie dokie. I saw it as plain as day. The croque monsieur was minding his own business on the Rue de Marmosets, when all of a sudden this here brute of a rooster appeared with his gun in hand. BAM! The rooster fired, and the croque slumped to the floor. Using the last of his strength, the croque monsieur drew his own gun. BAM! The croque fired back. So, to clarify, Cocorico shot first. Cocorico shot first. Is this going to be a Star Wars defense? Yes, ma'am. No question here. What happened next? Well, I know you guys, Fontaine, Ramius, and you, ma'am, were the only a stone's throw away at the cathedral, and I ran to get your help. Plain as day at night, right? Exactly. We all arrived on the scene maybe a minute after I had left. And there I saw the dead croque monsieur and the murderous Severin Cocorico with my own eyes. Thank you for your report, Piero. It's nothing, ma'am. See, Falcon, Piero isn't the simplest, the sharpest knife in the kitchen. True that! But he is honest to a fault. I would trust his word with my own life. I don't doubt the man's honesty, madame. Nonetheless, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Cross-examine? What does that mean? I don't claim to be an expert of the law. That was always my brother's rule in the family. But I think a cross-examining means that Falcon would like to waste our time by asking pointless questions. Actually, it means I would like to make sure that Piero's story holds up under scrutiny. Yes, I will ask questions, but only questions that will be that directly relate to the case at hand. Clearly a pointless stalling tactic, madame. Shall we put an end to the trial? No. We will let the bird have his little cross-examination. But I'm warning you, Falcon, don't mess with me. Don't mess with you. If I get the slightest inkling that you are rambling and stalling for time, I will end this trial on the spot. Do I make myself clear? Start questioning Cocorico's shoe size or the color of croque monsieur's underwear, and I'll lose my patience. Yeah, I get it. Select the statement to question. I saw it plain as day. The croque monsieur was just minding his own business on Rue de Mont, when all of a sudden the rooster appeared with his gun in hand. Bam! The rooster fired. The croque slumped onto the floor. Using the last of his strength, Croque fired his own gun. Bam! I think plain as day would be the thing we're looking at, right? Because it's night. You claim that you saw the incident as plain as day. Yep, plain as day. Piero, I would like to remind you that the crime occurred around midnight in February, on an overcast, moonless night, in an unlit alley. What's your point? It would have been dark, so dark that you probably couldn't have correctly identified the people involved. Hey, I swear I saw what I saw! Hold on, Falcon, you slipped up. You said the alley was unlit, but I distinctly recall there being lanterns over the Rue de Marmosets. Oh, that's right. We live in La Ville Lumière. We live in La Ville Lumière. Lumiere. I know that one. Lumiere. Lumiere. Because you know why I know that one. Everyone knows why I know what Lumiere is, right? Beauty and the Beast is the answer. It's the candle guy's name. We live in La Villa Lumiere. There's a gas lamp on every street corner. You're right, Madame Beaumont. There are street lamps over Rue des Marmosettes, but they wouldn't have been any good. The street lamps over Rue de Maurier were broken. They are completely non-functional. As proof, I present glass shards that line in the alleyway. These shards originate from the panes from the broken lamps. I just happened to pick them up just because, I'm not crazy or anything. And I've still got the holes in the sole of my shoes. Double proof. Those glass shards could have come from anywhere. You could also send one of your underlings to see if the lamps are broken for themselves if you would like. And waste more time? I think not. That sounds like a stalling tactic. Excuse me, Madame Beaumont? I don't remember whether the street lamps were broken or not, but I do remember that we had to use a torch to light up the scene. Hey, whose side are you on? I'm just saying Falcon might be right. It was particularly dark, so it's possible that there weren't any lit street lamps. Are you saying I'm a liar? I thought we were buddies. Quit squibbling, both of you. Maybe the lamps were broken. Maybe they weren't. It doesn't matter. I know that Pierre's testimony is accurate because I personally saw the rooster at the crime scene 1 minute after Pierrot did. 1 minute? That's plenty of time for the real murderer to escape and for a passerby to stumble by on the scene, is it not? You must acknowledge that is a possibility. I acknowledge nothing. There is an inkling of doubt. You know that there is a slight notion that Pierrot may be misremembering what he saw. Don't badger the prosecution, Monsieur Falcon. I wasn't badgering. On to the next witness. Madame Beaumont, do you have anyone in mind? I do. There is someone among us who is a gun connoisseur, a man who knows everything there is to know about the craft of weaponry. Oh, that's me again. Shut up, Pierrot. Get off the stand. Yes, ma'am. I call Fontaine forward. Very well. Now, Fontaine, is it true that you're a gun specialist? Well, I hate to brag, but yes, I know about guns, their mechanics, their beauty. Have you heard about the revolver mechanisms America is developing? Wonderful stuff. Fontaine, let's stick to the guns that we found here at the crime scene. Tell us about those. Oh, right. Very well. This is the gun found on Severin Colcrico's person at the time of the arrest. It's a standard issue precision lock Chatelleraut. God dang it. Chatelleraut Gendarmerie. Chatelleraut God dang it. Chatelleraut Gendarmerie. God, I don't know. I claim to be a gun expert, but I can't pronounce the name of the gun that I'm presenting to you. I'm very much a professional. I'm sorry. Anyways, it's a pistol, okay? It's 24 centimeters in length and is a 15 millimeter caliber. We use actual, real scientific units over here, unlike those Americans with their inches. What kind of royal nonsense is that? Anyway, lots of police and soldiers carry these dull things. It's a gun that says, I am a reliable man of the law. That sounds like our Cocrico. Does it? Kakariko's always told me that the riding crop was his self-defense weapon of choice. It's strange that he had a gun in the first place. John remaining pistols added to your evidence folder. And this is the gun found on Croque Monsieur's corpse, clutched tightly in his hands. It is a turnover pistol, double-barreled, ivory handle, 20 centimeters length, 13mm caliber. This is an exquisite and highly customized gun. It's one of a kind. Whoever used this weapon knew their stuff. The Croque Monsieur was a legendary arms dealer. It should be no surprise that his personal weapon would be so flamboyant. Turnover pistols been added to the evidence. But what's really fascinating about the Croque Monsieur's gun is the ammunition. See, the bore of the pistol has been fitted with a set of grooves. Please stop, Fontaine. I don't call you up to hear you show off your gun knowledge. Tell us what you uncovered when you examined the Croque Monsieur's bullet wound. It's actually starting to warm up, Johnson? Not freezing out there anymore? Then again, it is Charlotte, and that didn't do too bad. Not like Texas. God rest her soul. Alright, well, a lead bullet was embedded in the middle of Croque Monsieur's sternum and appeared to be straight angle of entry. So in other words, the Croque Monsieur was facing his killer when he was shot. That's right. The other interesting point was that Croque Monsieur's outer clothes were singed. That typically only occurs if the person is close enough to a gunshot to be directly burned by the gun's muzzle flash. And how close does a person have to be burned by a muzzle flash? Less than 3 meters, I would say. 5 at the very most. God, guns back then had a large muzzle flash. Holy cow. 3 meters is quite a distance. I was thinking like modern guns where you have to like stand up like to get burned by the barrel work, you'd have to basically be like have the gun pressed to them in order to get burned by that. Then there is no chance that there was a rogue sniper on the rooftops, that Croque Monsieur's killer was standing in Rue de Marmosets themselves. As is plainly evident, only one person was found in Rue de Marmosets at the time of the incident. Prosecutor Cocorico. Well said, ma'am. I think you just unequivocally proved this bird's guilt. Not so fast. I would like to cross-examine the witness. I don't think so. You're overstepping your bounds, Bird. Let the lawyer try, Remus. When he fails, there will be absolutely no doubt to anyone in the room that Cocorico is nothing but a bloodthirsty murderer. I think it was the cop. Because the cop is also a rooster, right? Select a statement to question. A standard issue 15mm caliber I cannot gendarmerie pistol was found in Cocorico's person. A highly customized double-barrel turnover pistol was found in Croque Monsieur's hands. The Croque Monsieur was shot in his chest, and his clothes were singed, indicating a close-range gunshot. Can I look at my evidence folder? Croque's invoice. An invoice dropped by Croque promises the delivery of weapons to the sleeping city. A pen from God contains green ink. Pamphlet from the Cult of Reason found in Sparrows in the Catacombs. Double barrel. Wait a minute. Do they have the body still? Because, like, we can, like... Because we can use that, couldn't we? Given to us by Fontaine. Collection of old stories in the Bible. I mean, I could question his chest and then maybe ask to see the body and then, like, extract the bullet, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Why do you think turnover pistol? I'm trying to reach... I know you've probably played this a few times, so I mean, appreciate the answers, but I always kind of like to try to figure things out a little bit. Turnover pistol. The Crocs carried an ornate double-barreled pistol. Fontaine, about the Croque Monsieur's turnover pistol. You were about to say something about the gun's ammunition before Madame Beaumont cut you off. Could you give us details? Oh, great. Now he'll never stop talking. I'm glad you asked, Falcon. If it's double, where's the second bullet? Well, like he missed, right? I guess that was the testimony of the other guy. See, as you probably know, most bullets are just small round lead balls, right? But that's not the case here. This particular weapon uses an advanced iron tip aerodynamically carefully grooved. Actually, it'd be quicker if I just show you. Take a good look. This is an iron-tipped Mania ball. It's very rare, top-of-the-line technology. Before last night, I had never seen one of these before in person. Like I said before, Croque Monsieur was a legendary arms dealer. It only makes sense that he would have access to the latest weaponry. Where did you find this bullet, Fontaine? In the turnover pistol's chamber. Hold on, I'm confused. I thought Croque Monsieur fired his gun, so how is it possible that his gun was still loaded with a bullet? A turnover pistol is double-barreled. This means it can hold 2 bullets at once, ready to be fired in quick succession. Ah, I see. The Croque Monsieur fired 1 bullet, but died before he could fire the second. I trust that you have no more questions on this matter, Falcon. We've wasted enough time already. Not yet. Where is the other bullet? What other bullet? The fired Manet ball. There were 2 shots that night, remember? One from the assistant and one from the crocodile. I scoured the scene for a couple of minutes, but I couldn't find it. It's a pity. It would have been great to have 2 of these magnificent bullets. Madame Beaumont, did you find the fired Manet ball from Cocorico's body? In Cocorico's body? In his body? You're asking if Cocorico was wounded by the bullet? Not that much is plain to see. So again, I ask, where's the fired Manet ball? Well, I don't have any clue. What are you trying to get at, Falcon? Isn't it obvious? If the bullet wasn't embedded in the alleyway wall, then it wasn't embedded in Cocorico, then that means it flew sky high, it hit the murderer, it was blank. The bullet hit the murderer, the real murderer, and it's still embedded in whoever attacked Croque Monsieur. A ludicrous notion. It makes perfect sense. The double-barreled turnover gun, the missing bullet. Fine, I'll humor you. Let's say that a bullet did hit the real perpetrator. What of it? Well, it's only been a few hours since the shooting. Presumably the person still has the bullet lodged in them. Find the person with the unique iron Manet bullet embedded in them, and you find the real murderer. That's reasonable. But we've neither the time nor the researchers to search every citizen of Paris for to uncover an injured gunman. You don't have to search everyone in Paris. I believe the murderer to be someone in this very room. Oh, you think we have a traitor among our ranks? I do. This was obviously a planned attack. Someone invited Cocorico and Croque Monsieur to the same place at the same time in order to create a setup. Only someone with a rebel's connection could engineer such an event. This is ridiculous. Are you saying that someone in this room was shot last night, that's clearly untrue. A bullet wound can be concealed, perhaps if you were to take off your shirts. No, I'm not having everyone in the room stripped down to their knickers just to counter your outrageous theory. Cater. If you can't think of a more reasonable way to prove your stray bullet, then we end this damn trial here and now. A more reasonable way? I have a more reasonable way. What are you thinking, Falcon? Bullet extractor. Isn't it obvious? We have the perfect way to uncover someone's been shot. It's a genius solution. Are you serious, Falcon? You're relying on the invention of a lunatic? I've never been more serious. Madame Beaumont, Friar Ramirez, and members of the court, this evidence is called an explorer extractor. It's the latest medical technology. Looks more like a children's toy. I assure you it's no toy. It was designed to find and extract metal embedded in their bodies. A battlefield bullet finder and remover, if you will. I'm intrigued. So you say you could just swing that device around and it finds a bullet in a person? Yes, sort of. I don't know, we haven't had a chance to practice with it, really. Madame, these birds are playing you for a fool. There's no way such a device exists. We have seen this device work with our own eyes. Sparrowson shall demonstrate. Me? Although he will have to find something to demonstrate it on. We need to find something. Here. Here we have an iron-tipped Minea ball, as present by Fontaine a moment ago. Observe, I place the bullet in my closed fist. Time to do a sweep. Alright, sweep it. I place the bullet in my closed fist. It now represents the fired bullet that is currently embedded in the murderer's body. Allegedly. It was Ramirez, isn't it? He's being very, he's the only one in the group that's, not being, who's, not coming clean or doing anything. He's just kind of I'm going to be very shady and suspicious. Now, Sparrowson will demonstrate what happens when my hand is scanned with the Explorer Extractor device. So I just do this and... it's humming and buzzing. It really detecting that bullet? Absolutely. What an intriguing device. Hey, what would happen if I hit the extract right now? Oh, please don't. Remember what happened at the stake, right? My, what is this feeling? It feels like power! Don't let it get to your head. Okay, I'm convinced. Falcon, Sparrowson, you can perform a cursory scan on each of us with that device of yours. You must stop humoring these notions, madam. What good is this doing us? Ramirez, they may be morons, but this test will grant us certainty of the rooster's fate. I can afford that time. Hey, Falcon, what'll happen if the murderer is someone not present in this room? It most likely isn't. What? I'm stalling. Falcon. Get a move on, you two. Yeah, I think it was the cop. I think it was the other rooster. I really must express my displeasure that you're going along with this farce, Madame Beaumont. Or it might be him. Let's end this trial here and now. You can get the justice you crave. Don't worry, Ramirez. My patience for this bird brain is wearing thin too. When this asinine scheme fails, he will face the consequences. Lucky bird, scan the rooster first. He is the prime suspect after all. Okay. I'm not getting any reaction. There's probably no bullet lodged in Kakariko. So, he's innocent for sure. No, all it means is that the bird was not shot by the hypothetical bullet. Don't forget that this is all speculation on Falcon's part. Madame, I must insist that you end this. It's a fool's errand. We have other matters we must attend to. Ramirez, you let me worry about our time management. Piero, you go next. Alright, get it over with. No reaction. That means that Piero wasn't shot either. No surprises there, right guys? Let's see. Next we shall test... Madame, I implore you. You're being awfully limpy, Ramius. Why don't you go next? Me? That's not really necessary, madam. I don't participate in this ridiculous child's game. This is no game, and I'm issuing you an order to cooperate. I refuse. Piero, please restrain Ramius. With pleasure, ma'am. Well, what are you doing? Keep your filthy talons off of me. I will not be manhandled by... Ow! Stop that. You're making a mistake. Madam, think a little harder. I have an alibi. I was with you the whole evening. Sparrowson, do the test. Falcon? I'm not getting any reaction. That can't be right. Do it again. There's nothing. Fiero Remus has not been shot as far as this device can tell. Yeah, it was probably the other rooster. Dang it. I was like, maybe we can get off lucky and that guy would get a shot. It's like, nope. The utter nerve to manhandle a man of the cloth like that. As I said on the floor, madam, I wish I was with you and Fontaine for the entire evening. I could not possibly be in two places at once. It's true, you were sitting in my line of sight exactly when the murder was supposed to have taken place. As was I. Right. Fontaine was sitting with us too, so that rules him out. And I know I didn't perform the murder, obviously. Which means that every suspect has been accounted for. Go sit down, lackey. Your job is done. You realize what this means, don't you, Falcon? Your little test failed. Your hypothetical bullet theory turned out to be an unsubstantiated speculation. Pure guesswork. Shall we end the trial, madam? Wait, there must be someone we're not accounting for. I just know it. There's someone else who could have been the shooter. I think I know. Not you. The other guy. You. It's possible that Inspector Voltaire was the culprit. We should track him down. Really? The inspector? I don't trust the old bird in the slightest. This entire event could have been orchestrated by him as part of an elaborate setup. Romulus? It was Romulus? Wait, what? No. Dang it, did I just go down a bad path? Whatever. I guess we're doing it now. Oh no. Oh no, I guess I guessed wrong, right? Oh well, whatever. We go along with it. That seems a little unbelievable. I have no idea who this Inspector Voltaire is, but if you think I'm going to let you walk out of here and find him, you are mistaken. Think harder, Falcon. Who are we forgetting? Okay, so you're saying Romulus. That would be Judge Romulus. So why would it be him though? That's the thing. That's just speculation on my part. Picking anybody is really speculation. Why would... I thought he was in jail, first off. Or maybe he disappeared. Friar Romulus, how is your brother, the man named Romulus? My brother, he was forced to flee the country by our oppressive government. You and I both know that's not true. Your brother is still in France. In fact, I think he's lurking in these catacombs right now. An absurd notion. Your theories are getting more and more outlandish, Falcon. Where is your evidence? I can answer this one. This, I found this in the catacombs tunnel. Oh. Well, I don't remember him saying that he was like some sort of cult of reason or something. An introductory guide to the cult of reason. Thank you, Sparrowson. Now, Frere Remes, does this pamphlet look familiar to you? No, I've never seen it before in my life. Are you sure? Are you sure it doesn't belong to your brother Romulus? No, there are many cultists in Paris. Maybe it belongs to one of them. Falcon, I'll take your word that your lackey found this pamphlet in the catacombs. But Ramirez is right. There is no evidence that the man known as Romulus is the one who dropped it. This pamphlet could have been dropped by anyone. It could even have been dragged on the sole of Piero's shoe, for all I know. Wouldn't be the first time. At this moment, a chill ran down Falcon's spine. There was a dreaded reality. He had no evidence that the manifesto belonged to Ramos. It was just empty conjecture. Madam, please, take my word. The person called Romulus lurks in these very tunnels. You have no proof. But you have my assurance. He's floundering, madam. Agreed. I've had enough of these rambling theories. Falcon, your respect for your comrade is admirable, and you displayed great valiance by leaping headfirst into the lion's den. Pun intended. But you have failed to convince me of this bird's innocence. Madame Beaumont, I implore you. Not another word. We humored you, we set up a court and went through the motions of a trial, and now the rooster's guilt has been formally proven. We have more evidence. Enough! The trial is over. Sevier and Cocrico, you have been formally tried by the people of the Second Republic. We have found you guilty on the counts of conspiracy, of the murder of Croque Monsieur, and the murder of my father, Jean Beaumont. Madam, please. JJ, it's all right. I've made my peace. This is far from all right. Dying in the name of the New Republic, at the hands of the rebels, there are worse ways to go. It was good enough for Robespierre, right? Severin. Ooh. Tend to the body, Piero. Yes, ma'am. Do you plan to kill us too? Why would I do that? You've done nothing wrong. I see no reason for you to be tried, let alone executed. Your mercy is admirable, madam, but I fear if we let these two go, they'll tell the police everything. It would compromise us. No, we promise to keep our beak shut, right, Falcon? Ah, but we cannot trust the word of potential traitors, madame. For the good of France, we must execute these birds right now. Some man of God you are. I hate to admit it, but you have a point, Ramius. This is an unpleasant situation. What to do? Okay, I know. I'm going to give you a choice. You have two options. The first is I shoot you right here and now. That's not something either of us particularly want, but if it must be done. So what's option number 2? You join us. We need lawyers to help bring the new republic into fruition. Your skills would be very much appreciated. Our skills? Somebody has to draft new laws, somebody has to file paperwork to secure the new republic's international recognition and legalized status. There was a fountain pen you could have found that proved who wrote it. It was in Notre Dame. Oh. Well, that sucks. Didn't I have the pen, though? I had a pen. I don't think I had the pen. Like, there was another pen, I guess, that I missed. Whoops. Alright, so, like, here's the thing. Lawyers don't draft laws. They just present them. when they've been violated. Somebody has to prosecute the officials who corrupted this country. Wouldn't that be a glorious job? You mean prosecute the Prime Minister or the King? We can discuss the specifics later. For now, I need to hear a decision. What will it be? Alright guys, would we rather die or will we join them? I don't think that's much of a choice. I think the game kind of ends if we die, but, you know, they did kill Kakariko, and that wasn't very nice. Or maybe something comes out and basically goes, hey, it's like, hey, like you're no longer maybe it was called Deus Ex Machina. Maybe something would come out as a Deus Ex Machina and save our butts if we go the honorable route. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the person that I tried to frame and go, hey, look, it's Inspector. It's the Inspector Rooster Man and he's coming to save us, even though I basically screwed up and got his friend killed. You always know you secretly wanted to be a rebel. Oh, so we got one person join. You're gonna join the revolution. They got cookies. Okay, so we have one join the rebel. I mean, it's either that or get shot, and you know that's never, getting shot's never good. Join the rebellion going once. Join the rebellion going twice. Rebel scum. Fine, we'll work with you. Good. Then a verbal contract has been made. So, what happens now? Piero and Fontaine will lead you to the Le Canard Joyer, and I will finish up here and meet you in 2 hours. He's to say they shall be keeping a close watch on you. Don't ever think about running. Of course. Then we're done here. Fontaine, lead the way. Yes, ma'am. Come along, you two. You can't seriously be trusting these filthy lawyers, madam. They're probably plotting revenge for their dead friend at this very moment. I do trust them. Throughout the trial, I got the impression that Falcon was trying to de-escalate the situation. Avoid violence. Such a viewpoint is naive, but it's exactly what we need in this revolution. But they will betray you. If they are stupid enough to raise one feather against me, they'll regret it. End of Act 3. Games received. You can come out now, brother. How'd it go? Better than we hoped for. The rooster is dead and the madam has had a taste of first blood. Huh. Amazing. Completely worth getting shot for. A medicine Falcon tried to disrupt the execution. Falcon? Really? That tenuous wretch. Don't worry, he floundered and bubbled around hopelessly. The madam thinks he's of some use to us, but really, he's as good as dead. This is marvelous. Every piece is falling into place. Our dream will be a reality in no time. To reason, brother. To reason. I hope you don't harbor too much hate for the madame. I know that your rooster was your friend, but the madame does what she does for the good of France. Boy, oh boy, this is awkward. It is a bit. Perhaps a round of drinks are in order. After all, this is a tavern. What do you two say? Wine sounds good, or I'm not thirsty. But I am thirsty, so I'm going to grab water while you guys vote on that. No one said anything. Oh, man. Do we want Lane? Or do we want no thirst, no drink? Going once. Going twice. I mean no disrespect, Fontaine, but I'm not thirsty. Me neither. I get it. You're a little shaken by what you saw. Can we at least get you some wine? Can we at least get you some wine? Just a small glass to calm the nerves. Fine, whatever. Very good. Piero, fetch our guests some drinks. It's your round.
My round? No way, it's your turn.
Turns don't matter. You still owe me for that omelet I generously paid for last Friday.
Yeah, well, you owe me for that coffee on Tuesday.
Okay, so that's 30 cents for the coffee deducted from the 60-cent omelet plus the 25-cent peanuts you swapped from my pantry.
Hold up. I ain't no menial I'm not good at mental arithmetic.
Listen, Sparrowson, you need to go. Go. Yes, I'll create a distraction. You head straight for the back door. Is this such a good idea? If we both stick around, we could both end up dead as soon as we rub the lioness the wrong way. If we both run, these two will probably get shot. They'll probably shoot us in the backs. So the way I see it, one of us running is the only most viable option. Falcon, don't argue. Once you're out, find Voltaire and tell him what you've seen. Okay. So it's agreed. You get this round and I'll owe you 2 cents.
Yep, and I'll hold you to them 2 cents. Be right back.
2 cents? Oh, God.
Don't you two move or nothing.
He'll hold me to the 2 cents. That Piero's such a miser. Anyway, I don't feel like sitting in silence. Let's talk to pass the time. I have a gun question. Fontaine, I have a gun question. A gun question? Do go on. What's better, flintlock or precision cap ignition systems? What a delightfully technical question. But I'm afraid there's no dispute here. Percussion caps are the future, hands down. You see, flintlocks are reliable. A little light drizzle when the initial system no longer functions. The gun becomes completely worthless. But a percussion cap will always work as long as it's built correctly. and as long as the gun has enough gunpowder. I suppose there's a matter of material cost. How much does a brass cap cost compared to a flint and steel? It's a little pricier, I think.
All right, I brought the drinks. One for me, one for you, and one for you, and one for... Where's the little one?
The little one? He's right. Oh, Mert, I lost him.
You lost him? Why'd you lose him? I was gone for like 2 minutes.
I think I dropped the ball on this one.
I'll say the madam's gonna string us up for sure. Actually, we should make up a cover story. We can't let her find out about this.
You can't let me find out about what? Tweedledee and Tweedledum over there weren't paying attention and let Sparrowson walk casually away. Madam!
We can explain.
I swear I gave you bozos one damn job. It doesn't matter, that little bird was dispensable for our plans, but Falcon isn't. What's important is that he's still here. Madame, if Sparrowson runs to the police, then both this location and the sleeping city are compromised. We should keep this meeting brief. Agreed. Falcon, let me fill you in quickly. As you probably know, we are planning to form a protest, an enormous protest, on the 14th of this month. We intend to draw a massive crowd at the Place de la Concorde, and then we shall march across the Tuileries Gardens, if I pronounced any of that right. A march across Tuileries? You intend to storm the Louvre? No, the Palais Royal. That's where the king and the prime minister will be residing. I would like it to go peacefully, but peaceful uprisings have a habit of turning violent, don't they? Exactly. We can't let the leaders of this country escape amid the chaos. They must be tried for their crimes against the French people. On that note, I want you to lead the prosecution. You want me to prosecute the King of France? The King and the Prime Minister. They are both responsible for the rampant inequality that plagues this country. On the day of the revolution, we will drag both of those overpaid bourgeoisie onto the streets, and you shall prosecute them then and there. I think I understand. Prosecuting the pair for crimes against humanity, I suppose. It could certainly be done. If I were to interview a lot of citizens, gather a lot of evidence, file some paperwork, I could probably prepare a case in around 2 months. We don't have the luxury of time. Use your ingenuity on the day, just like you did in the catacombs. You can't be serious. There is no alternative. The wheels of revolution are already turning, and the revolution will ignite in under a week. The question on my mind is, what will we do with you until then?
You can leave him here with us, man. We'll keep a good eye on him.
After seeing the atrocious job you two did guarding the little bird, I think not. I'll have to guard you myself, Falcon. You shall spend the weeks at my side, and while I complete our preparations. At your side, all day and night? Absolutely. I'm not going to let you out of my sight for a minute. That seems excessive. You can trust me, madam. No, I can't. You promised to help me, but I know that you don't actually believe in the cause of the Second Republic. If I give you one grade of freedom, you will undoubtedly flee. Free. This meeting is over. Come along, Falcon.
And while we were sitting there in the tavern, Falcon gave me the opportunity to escape. He created a distraction, and I sneaked away and went straight to the police. Then you called a meeting, and well, I'm here. So, yeah, that's the whole story.
I see. So Severin Kakeko died at the hands of the rebels.
That's right. And Falcon revealed his true colors as a traitor. A traitor? No, that's not right, Inspector. Falcon's not a rebel. He's just playing along so he can save his own life. Don't be naive, Sparrowson. Put the puzzle pieces together. Falcon willingly leapt into the lion's den for the specific purpose of siding with the rebels. He let you escape because he could see that you weren't truly sympathetic to the rebel cause. That doesn't make sense at all. Falcon's never shown a rebellious streak. Tell me, Sparrowson, what do you know about Falcon's past? Not a lot. He's a private person. Has he ever told you that he did what he did during the July Revolution before he changed his name? No, he hasn't told me anything, really. Sparrowson, let me tell you about the man they call the Viridian Killer.
Alright, Pelos is functioning better than me. It's a bit popular among shoppers. So where are we going, and what are we looking for?
Like, I think we were coming up with a plan about this whole meeting, right? Like, this is where they were going to start, right? And this is where they were going to end up going to. Maybe we can go visit the kangaroos again. I don't have money, though. Like, I have like 2 francs, I think, still. The hulls, huh? Let me guess, you have a weapon supplier somewhere around here? Or maybe this is where you plan on meeting an informant, a government defector. It's as good a meeting spot as any. Actually, I'm here for groceries. There's no need for that look. You think just because I'm a gun-toting rebel, I don't have to buy food? Hey, look, it's the kangaroos. Man be mort, man be mort. Well, if it isn't Santé and little Gambade. You're growing bigger every time I see you. Ma'am, you have to hear this. Something big went down here yesterday. A policeman! The ugly policeman! Let me guess, he was bullying people into revealing secrets on the whereabouts of the revolutionaries. Well, that's how it started, ma'am. Same old bullying tactics. He was pushing around this old beggar rat who hangs around the market sometimes. But then, when the rat wasn't speaking up, the policeman drew his gun and shot him. The policeman shot the beggar, just like that? Yep. But the coward cop went and ran before we could turn on him. I find this difficult to believe. A policeman wouldn't openly shoot a beggar without just cause. Blink, blink. No comment. 1312. Right. Anyways, open your eyes, Falcon. This is the regime us Parisians live under. We are ignored by the government, oppressed by the police, and hanged by the courts. Why do you think I'm fighting so hard to make a change? We can't put up with this sort of bullying. No, this can't be right. There's something missing from Sautan's story. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, ma'am? Sure, ask away. Make it quick. Make it quick, Falcon. What did the policeman look like? Well, I didn't get a good look, but he was tall and ugly and mean-looking, and he had one eye. One eye? Yep, he had one of them pirate patches. Oh God, it's Voltaire. Just double checked. Actually, you could have gotten a signed version of the cult pamphlet signed Silverius. Found at the Grand Gallery at the Louvre. Not sure you did that or not. Or one of the missteps was enough to derail things. I don't think I did get a signed copy of the pamphlet. Yep, had one of them pirate patches. There's no way. Ring any bells, Falcon? I know a man who fits that description, but it simply couldn't be him. He's a bitter individual, but he's morally righteous. I can't imagine him shooting an innocent person so recklessly. Don't let your bias towards the justice system affect your judgment, Falcon. If you think you know who did this, then please, name and shame him. I think I should bite my tongue until I'm a little more certain. Do you want to know anything else, Monsieur? Just who was this beggar rat? I don't really know him that well, Monsieur. None of us did. He was kind of a loner who hanged out, asked for scraps of food and cents. I don't even know his name. That's so sad. Did he have no family? No means of support? Falcon, do you have any idea how many beggars there are on the streets of Paris? How many people go hungry? How many people are forced to turn to crime? I'm well aware, madam. I'm asking these questions to see if there was perhaps some reason why that particular rat was killed. But no, it appears that it was just the loss of an unnamed beggar, rat among many. It's tragic. That is it, Monsieur. Is there any other way I can help? Nobody investigate the shooting? If a policeman did shoot an innocent person, then there would surely be an investigation. Ha! Your naivete knows no bounds, Falcon. You think the police care if it's one of their own out of control. Actually, there was one bloke asking around, but I don't think he was a policeman. Oh? Go on, madam. Well, he was this charming fox. Renard. A friend of yours, Falcon. Something like that. We probably should pay him a visit to see what he's up to. Pay him a visit? I suppose we could set aside a little time. Did you want anything else? That's all, madam. Thanks for your help. No problem. Anything to help, ma'am Belmont. We'll get to the bottom of this, Sartain. Just make sure to stay safe when the revolution starts. Stay inside. Keep combatants safe. Of course, ma'am. You stay safe yourself, you hear? Alright, we gotta go to R&M Associates. Visitors! Monsieur Vauby's visitors! Really, Falcon? What do you hope to accomplish in this sleazy back alley establishment? Sleazy. Ma'am, my back alley office is perhaps a little cluttered and eclectic, but I resent the accusation of sleaze. Maybe I should do the introductions. Monsieur Vaupes, this is Madame Beaumont, a friend of mine. Madame, this is René Vaupes, private investigator at your service. It's a pleasure to meet you, madame. Ah, how stoic. I'm sure you have some pressing questions to ask, Falcon, but before we need to get started, there is something I must tell you. Monsieur Sparrowson dropped by earlier. He informed me of your situation. Sparrowson, is he alright? Oh yes, he's now working with Inspector Voltaire, attempting to unravel the rebel plot. Just as I thought, it appears your lackey has solidified his position as a traitor to the Second Republic, Falcon. Perhaps, perhaps not. Sparrowson doesn't strike me as a person who sides with any ideology. But you know, he asked me the most peculiar question. Would you like to know what it was? Of course. Such information is quite valuable. It would cost, say, 30 francs. How much money do I have? 2. Well, whatever. I would love to buy it off you, monsieur, but I don't think I have enough money. Really? That's a pity. But I feel generous today. Maybe I ought to lend you this information for free. Sparrowson asked if you were the Verdian killer. The one responsible for the random bombings During the July Revolution, 18 years ago. Why on earth did he ask that? Perhaps the inspector has been telling him stories. So what did you tell him? The truth, of course. Oh no, you're late. It's alright. Long story short, we weren't able to save Kakariko. And now the rebels have kind of co-opted my services under duress. And Sparrowson fled. And right now Voltaire is telling the Sparrowson that I was an old rebel from the July Revolutions, and that's what we're talking about right now. That is, I have no idea who the Viridian Killer is, but that I knew that it couldn't possibly be Falcon. Oh, and how do you know that I'm not the Viridian Killer? Falcon, please. You're a semi-drunk bumbling oaf, not a ruthless killer. Anyway, I've started my own investigations into the Viridian Killer. It's fascinating stuff. Apparently, he was seen in multiple places at once, which leads some to believe that he was actually more than one person. Huh. And do you know why they call him, or should I say them, the Viridian Killer? Viridian is a greenish color, isn't it? No, I don't have a clue. Crimson Killer would be a much cooler name. It appears that no one knows the origin of the name, which leads me to suspect that he, or indeed they, chose their own name. This is all fascinating, truly fascinating, but perhaps we can return to this conversation to why we're here. Of course, Monsieur Vopes, we heard that you were investigating the murder at La Halle's. I was. The victim was a friend of Mousie's.
More of an acquaintance, really.
We want to know if you managed to uncover anything. Did you find any leads, any juicy clues? Not as such. It's a peculiar case. Did you hear that the murderer wore an eye patch? I did. You know what that implies, don't you, Falcon? You only know of one police officer, or indeed one person, who wears an eye patch. Is he on this page or the previous page? The inspector. But that can't be right. You wouldn't describe him as a murderous man, would you, Monsieur Vopes? Murderous? I don't know. He's certainly passionate about finding the Viridian Killer. Who's to say he wouldn't kill in the pursuit of his arch enemy? Falcon, I want to solve this mystery as much as you do, but time is pressing here and we have other matters to attend to. We must take our leave. Understood. Until next time, Monsieur Vopes. Goodbye and good luck, Monsieur Falcon. It was a pleasure meeting you, madame.
Monsieur Vopes, the lioness looked pretty angry. Is the revolution going to end in blood, Monsieur Vopes? Just like in 1830?
Alright. Welcome back! Alright, let's go to the Tolerays. Let me think. So it takes 10 minutes to walk from the Place de la Cour to this very spot. And the Palace Royal lies 5 minutes north of here. But the crowd will be very large and slow. It may take twice, maybe 3 times as long to make the move. Having a logistics problem, madam. Perhaps. The plan is to walk the crowd from here through Toliers to the Palais Royal. But if we take too long to pass through Toliers, the police will trap us in. We could be flanked and slaughtered. That's quite an issue. Why not go around the Toliers? Why not run? Why not just meet at the palace? a crowd that large running won't be helpful. They could meet at the palace, but I don't think that's going to work. We're not speaking from experience here of a situation almost 2 months ago at this point. Ironically, right? It's like when they made this game, I don't think they were thinking like a rebelling crowd dealing with that sort of situation. Having to walk down a few blocks before reaching their ultimate objective, that never happens. Anyways, why not go around the Tuileries? Why not run? Why not just be at the palace? Obviously, being at the palace is dumb, so I would think yes. Why not just go around the Tuileries? There's a nice wide main road that leads straight to the palace front door. You can avoid the gardens entirely. Marching across the gardens makes for a better political statement. But I can't fault your reasoning. Going around would diminish our chances of being stopped and trapped. I'll pass the idea along to Piero and see what he has to say. He's the one in charge of leading the crowds, after all. That bird-brained parrot would probably just shoot down the idea, right? Probably, but I appreciate your input. I don't know if you generally want to help or if you're just telling me what I want to hear out of fear, but thank you, Falcon. It's no problem, madam, for the Second Republic, right? Right, for the Second Republic. The Palace Royale. Just look at the disgusting den of fat cat bourgeoisie and hypocritical politicians. The king is probably in there as we speak. Probably sitting in his high chair, stuffing his bloated face with cake and wine while he boasts about being the perfect citizen king. Did you come here just to moan about the king? No, I came here to assess the potential battleground. On the day of the rebellion, I might order Piero to set up a barricade over there. What do you think? There, right outside the Palace Royale? Of course! It's the perfect plan for a defensive garrison. We can gather furniture from nearby buildings, build a wall, and position rifles to fend off the police. When the time is right, it will serve as an ideal location to launch our assault on the police. So you weren't just throwing empty words in the tavern, you actually intend to dragging the king out of the palace through violence. Of course! You will never allow betray to his own volition. It's not as if I want to see bloodshed, Falcon. It's necessary. It's inevitable. I mean, we have to be realistic. There is no way to bring about change to a country without using violence, is there? I think there are ways, or I think violence is inevitable. Obviously, I have a personal... Obviously, I would always go for the former, but, you know, that's just me. But I'll let the people decide. Because, you know, it is the people's revolution after all. You guys can have a say on whether... I love how it's saying check the video resolution. It's like, I think my resolution's fine. Oh, he's optimistic. I don't know, man. At this point, it's like... We have one violence, one think there's ways. Going once, going twice. I think to her, violence is inevitable, of course. I think to the lioness, the violence here is inevitable. I think there are ways to always change a government to do better through nonviolent means. You know, I've always sort of believed that, and always kind of still do believe that. And as long as the system you allow the system to work, and you allow people to file their grievances through voting and through other means, right? That there will be nonviolent means of changing things. Yes, Kakariko died because I didn't defend him properly. Because, yeah. Yep, I screwed up. As Ramirez noted in the thing, there are multiple endings. There's 4 acts to the story, apparently. And so there's like 3 different versions of Act 4, and we're in 4C. There's like a 4A and a 4B. So there's obviously 2 different ways I could have went about doing that. So anyways, I think there are ways. People look back on the violent moments of history, the executions, the wars, the bloody revolutions. But who's to say that a country could not have overturned just through the chance of the people? A pacifist revolution. Interesting. I would love for such a thing to be possible. Maybe. It would be better to avoid building the barricades. At least until it's clear that violence is inevitable. That's good. That's a good compromise, madam. We got to plan for the worst. I mean, you think, and what if the worst does happen? It's like, doesn't hurt to plan for the worst. The newly built bridge boasts a magnificent view. This is it, Falcon. This is the day we make our stand. Everything is coming together. As we speak, Fontaine is gathering the protesters at the Place de Concorde. Pierrot is making the preparations to build an armored barricade near the Palace Royal, just as a precaution, you understand. The only question remains is, are you ready? Yes or nope, not at all. Who can be ready for something like this? Yep, you gotta rewatch the stream. Now the funny thing is that even then, Nova, even if you weren't late, like if you had been 20 minutes late, like when I saved it and closed it, apparently the game started back at the beginning of the day. So I literally had to go back into the church and then back into the thing, and then basically. So I had to spend the first 20 minutes basically retracing my steps into the catacombs. So like literally, we even had to spend 20 minutes getting back to the trial part. All right. What do you guys think on this one? Confidence is called for just to put on a face. Oh goodness, that's a bummer, dude. I tried to do a what was it called? I tried to do a cliffhanger ending, but unfortunately, like the game was like, nah, you should have kept going, because then we had to work our way back. I mean, I was fine stopping where I stopped that night, but I think we should be able to finish, quote unquote, finish this game tonight. I think this is the final act. All right. Absolutely. Bring on the revolution, I say. That's the spirit. Come on, let's see how the protest is going. Falcon and Behemoth arrive at the Place de Concorde. The air is thick with chants, shouting, and cheers of hundreds of protesters. A line of mounted soldiers stand shoulder to shoulder outside the entrance of the Tuileries. This is amazing.
I had no idea the Second Republic had this many supporters. But of course, you don't think that we're just a few animals huddling in a cave, did you? The desire for revolution runs deep in the city.
Everything is in place at the Palace Royale, ma'am. Just say the word and we'll have the biggest barricades you've ever seen. Then we can storm the building and drag that cocky king out of his chair.
There's been a change of plan. We're still going to protest, but we're going to do it peacefully. No firing from behind the barricades, no violence, no capturing the king or prime minister.
Madam, are you feeling all right?
Quite all right, thank you.
But what of your desire for a better France? You cannot achieve that without bloodshed.
We can certainly try. Falcon convinced me.
Falcon?
Pacifism seems like the Christian approach, wouldn't you say, Friar?
I see. So that's how it is.
Excuse me, madam. I think the Friar disapproves of the new strategy. He probably thinks I've gone soft, and maybe I have. But I'm not deviating from this path, even if each and every rebel leaves my side.
Don't worry, madam, you aren't alone.
We were not here for the violence, madam. As long as you strive for a better France, we'll always stand with you.
The stupid bullet wound. The damn thing's opened up again. What's the news, brother? Is everything in place? We have a problem. Mademoiselle refuses to use violence. She's turned timid. Turned timid? How? It appears the lawyer Falcon is something of a lion tamer. J.J. Falcon. The bird is proving to be more trouble than the rooster, I swear. Brother, listen. If there is no violence, then there will be no power gap. One leader will be just peacefully replace another. We need chaos for our plan to work. Guess we'll have to follow through with our own contingency strategy. I'll find the victim. You find the suspect. Don't push yourself, brother. You're still injured. Look at those scum. Foul vermin, the lot of them. Mark my words, Spousen. Every one of these petulant dissenters will hack the first opportunity to turn aggressive. The lust for violence.
They don't look too violent to me.
Trust me, this is just how the crowd worked before the July Revolution. It only takes one crazed individual and the entire crowd will explode into a frenzy.
Hey, it's you.
Friar, it's good to see you again. No time for pleasantries, Inspector. You're needed urgently on the Place de Concorde. Me? Why not ask one of the officers on active guard duty? There's no time to explain, any minute now. Ah, do you hear that gunshot? It's already begun. Come on, Inspector, we must make haste.
Inspector, I don't really think you should be trusting this friar. He's a two-faced wolf.
Friar Remus has provided me with reliable information in the past. I trust his judgment.
But Inspector...
This isn't up for discussion, Spousen. I have a duty to uphold. Stay put. I'll be back in no time at all.
But... What should I do now? A gunshot. It was nearby, too. So the friar was right. Violence really is an inevitability. We haven't reached that stage yet, madam. I can't afford to take chances. Not now. Piero, march the crowd towards the Palace Royale and construct the barricade.
Yes, ma'am.
Fontaine, Falcon, we're going to find the source of this disturbance.
It came from here, Inspector. Hurry, hurry.
I'm moving as fast as my old legs will. Mon Dieu. A body. This woman must have been a target of the gunshot we heard, but I don't see the shooter.
I think the gunshot came from over here.
Inspector! Falcon? Very well. I should have known it was the Viridian killer that would have been part in this.
Inspector, I'm not. What do we have here? A filthy cop and a dead girl?
Madam, thank goodness you're here. I saw the whole thing. This poor, innocent mademoiselle was approaching the police line with her hands in the air, when all of a sudden this brute of a police inspector yelled, "Get back, you filthy rebel!" He drew his gun and shot the bird point blank through her heart.
What is this nonsense? What are you paddling out about, Friar? Thank you for your input, Ramirez. It hardly surprised me that a member of the police would be the one to cast the first stone. I think we're all being a little rash. Let's take a breath, examine the situation, and... Wait a moment. You wear an eye patch. You only have one eye, Inspector. How observant. Tell me, were you the policeman who killed the rat at La Hez too?
La Hez? What are you talking about?
2 incidents of a one-eyed policeman gunning down an innocent victim. There's no way that this is a coincidence. What we have here is a filthy, corrupt individual who takes pleasure in impressing the common citizen. Am I right, Inspector?
I shouldn't be surprised that a stupid rebel makes stupid assumptions and comes to stupid conclusions. But open your damned eyes, mademoiselle. I'm not the assailant here.
Don't call me mademoiselle, or stupid for that matter. Your guilt is plain to see. Given the circumstances, I ought to judge and execute you here, right here and now.
Falcon, don't just stand there gawking. Vouch for me.
Madam, I know this, ma'am. His name is Inspector Voltaire. He is ruthlessly law-abiding, so much so that I can't envision him shooting a man without just cause. Oh, shut up, Falcon. I'm done with your idealism. I listened to you. I took your words to heart about avoiding violence, and now a girl is dead. I'm done taking chances. Ramirez, help me escort this individual to Piero's barricade. I'll decide his fate there.
With pleasure, madam. Come along, Inspector.
Fontaine, Falcon, deal with the corpse. Well, she had a name, ma'am. Jesus. It's like, we care for people here. Deal with the corpse. Jesus. Meet us at the barricade when you're done. There's no way that this was the work of the police. You know what, Falcon? I think you might be right. An isolated gunshot this far away from the police line? It doesn't make any sense at all. But that's rebellions for you. They're messy affairs. Sometimes innocents get caught in the crossfire and there's no reason for it. Well, there's no use dawdling. Help me get the corpse off the streets. Not yet. I'm going to examine the body first. Examine the body? We agree that this wasn't the work of Inspector Voltaire, right? Then there might be some clues on the corpse as to what point us towards what happened. An impromptu coroner's exam, eh? Fine. You have 2 minutes. After that, we're heading to the barricade, whether you're done here or not. What's this mark? It looks like a handprint made in blood. Probably the Mademoiselle's? I don't think so. It's the handprint of a left hand on the girl's left shoulder. There's no way a person could comfortably reach that spot on their own back. I suppose so, but if the handprint doesn't belong to the girl... His voice sounds like a smarter goofy. That's kind of the intent. I'm kind of glad I stumbled upon that one, because, like, I think the first time we met him in the bar, like, I just kind of gave him another generic French voice. And then I'm like, nah, I've got too many of those. I need to do something weird. And so I'm like, he's a dog, right? Let's just do Goofy.
God. Anyways, I suppose so, but if the handprint doesn't belong to the girl, then who does it belong to?
The murderer. It has to be. The question on my mind is, why is the handprint made in blood? Did the murderer sully the hand on the girl's gunshot wound, or were they injured prior to the shooting? There's so much to uncover here and no time for a thorough investigation. Bloody handprint has been added to your evidence folder. Select an area. Everyone's been fixated on who did this, and nobody stopped to ask who this girl was.
I don't know, monsieur. Given her clothes, she's probably just another working girl.
You know what the funny thing is, too, is that the text itself, if you haven't noticed, has, when it presents text of a character, it actually has a sound tone to it. So Fontaine's does sound goofy-ish, right? Even if you listen to it really carefully. So listen really carefully when the next thing comes in here. Just another. So this is Falcon's, like, da-da-da. So here's Fontaine's. You hear how it's like a sort of deeper, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, and then, you know, the other one. So like every character, like the bird one actually sounds bumbling and squawky, sort of like I give him, like every character has like a tonality to their text display, which is interesting.
I didn't mean to sound glib, but it's true. This is one mademoiselle among thousands who live in Paris. Who was she? Where did she work? Will her family miss her? I don't know, but in the long run, I don't think anybody will care.
I care. I can't afford not to.
Even the Madame Lioness didn't care. She's like, take care of the corpse. It's like, yeah, okay.
I don't know who this mademoiselle was, but I'm going to see it that justice is brought about for her death. Alright, let's see. Got a blood stain on the back. I think that's the stab wound. This is the bullet wound, right? What can you tell me about it, Fontaine?
Well, it looks like the bullet took a fairly straight angle of entry through the mademoiselle's back. The shooter was probably standing right behind the victim.
What's the bullet size? You know its caliber?
Let me guess. You're hoping that the caliber of the bullet is different from the caliber of the inspector's gun? That'd be conveniently get the one-eyed police officer off the hook, wouldn't it? But I'm afraid I can't help you. I couldn't possibly know what a bullet's caliber is without taking a good look at the bullet itself.
She was stabbed with a bullet.
And as you can plainly see, the bullet is 3 centimeters in the flesh.
So you need to see the bullet itself. Help me retrieve the bullet, Fontaine.
Retrieve? You mean dig it out?
I assume you have a little more experience in this area than I do.
Well, you're not wrong there. Fine. This will only take a moment. There you go. One used bullet. It looks like a standard lead rifle or pistol ball, but I'm afraid I can't tell you its caliber.
Why is that?
The bullet fragmented upon impact, monsieur. I gather all the pieces, but I can't assess the diameter with any accuracy. Still, I would guess that it was 13 to 17 millimeters. Sorry, I can't be more specific.
That's an enormous help. Thank you, monsieur. It's a long shot, but maybe this girl is faking her injury? Just for the sake of thoroughness, I ought to check for a pulse.
Right.
No, nothing. I think that's it. I'm done here.
Very good. Let's move the body off the street.
The inspector was standing in front of her according to the fire. They already have a glaring contradiction. Yeah, because she was shot in the back.
Let's move the body off the street. Then we must hurry back to the Palace Royal.
Rest in peace, mademoiselle. I'll see to it that justice is done.
Everything's going just as planned. The Madame's probably fuming right now. She'll attack the Palace Royal. The Prime Minister will flee and then...
Excuse me, monsieur.
What do you want? I'm busy.
Don't you recognize me, monsieur? I know that my disguises are a little more complex than yours, but I assume you would recognize Prince Jean when you saw him.
You're Prince Juan?
Indeed, and you are Judge Ramirez, the corrupt wolf. I know what you did. You tried to assassinate the king, you shot Cronk Monsieur, and just moments ago, I saw you murder a maiden at the Palais de la Concorde. You truly are a vile individual, aren't you?
Yeah. As if you had any proof about any of that stuff. I'm out of here.
I also know that you're one half of the Viridian Killer.
On any other day, I would gut you where you stand, Fox. But as it happens, I'm a little busy today.
Yeah, he's Prince Swan. He was Prince Swan was the private investigator guy who was like basically acting it up.
Oh, the Viridian Killer is too busy to kill me.
Is that the truth, or is the bullet wound of yours starting to affect your prowess? You must have lost an awful lot of blood. What do I do? What do I do? Oh, hello, Monsieur Valpes.
Ah, Monsieur Spelson, perfect timing. Who now? Oh, you're that fledgling. I guess this is what they call being stuck between a rock and a hard place, huh?
Monsieur Spelson, be a dear and help me restrain the Viridian Killer. This guy? He's the Viridian Killer? It looks more like Judge Romulus to me.
Well, you'll be right about that, too.
Wow. So he's two scumbags in one. Alright, then.
Oh, mind the wound.
Quit your whining, Your Honor.
Very nice takedown, Monsieur Spelson.
You may want to check his pockets for weapons. He is something of a notorious killer, after all. Of course. Let's see what we got here. Aha! There we are.
A pistol. Probably the one used to kill the maiden, I suspect. What else can you find, Monsieur Spelson?
This is an eye patch? Weird. What would this wolf want with an eye patch?
Oh no. This is bad.
Oh god, not wrong voice.
Oh no, this is bad. Very bad indeed.
I don't get it. What's wrong with an eye patch?
There's no time to explain. Mousy.
What is it, Monsieur Valpes? What is it?
Take this eye patch to J.J. Falcon. If my fears are correct, he'll be somewhere around the Palais Royal right now. Tell him that it belongs to Ramirez's brother. Hurry now.
Right away, Monsieur Valpes. Right away.
I must go too. I need to find the other half of the Viridian Killer pair before something terrible happens. Wait, Monsieur Valpes, what am I supposed to do with this guy?
You have his gun. You have his gun, don't you? March that wolf to the nearest police station and collect your rewards for capturing Judge Romulus.
So the problem is that we were in trial, and that did come up, but like the killer being shot did come up when it came to the killer of Croc Monsieur. But Romulus wasn't in the area, so we couldn't really extract the bullet from him. We tried to extract the bullet from everyone there, but that didn't work out. So that was part of the third act trial. What a strange day. You'd tell me. Oh goodness, they put down the trees. This ain't good. Outside the Palais Royal, the rebels have constructed a makeshift barricade out of furniture, branches, rocks, and anything else they could find. From behind the wall, the rebels taunt the police and royal guards with chants. I'm growing impatient, pig. Confess your crimes.
I have nothing to confess, you filthy rebel.
You and all your rebel friends, however, should confess to 1,000 counts of treason and public disorder. I will see each and every one of you hanged for your flagrant disregard for the law. Your stubborn attitude is disgusting. A few days ago, you were seen at Hare's. Witnesses saw you murder a beggar in cold blood. Today, a friar has testified to seeing you murder a girl, again completely unprovoked. I don't know why you continue to plead your innocence. But it doesn't matter. I don't need a confession to know that you're a killer. Madame Belmont, stop. The inspector didn't shoot the mademoiselle. Keep your beak closed, Falcon. I'm done with you listening to your suggestions. This policeman is as guilty as every other monster in our decrepit justice system. It's my duty to execute him.
Madame, Falcon has uncovered some pretty convincing evidence. I would recommend that you hear him out.
Please, just give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes and I can convince you of the inspector's innocence. 5 minutes is precious in time like this, and I can't afford it. What if you're wrong? Are you willing to see another dead innocent? Thank you, madam. Having my life saved the Viridian killer. How humiliating. Quiet, pig. Your life is mine until I say otherwise. Okay, first off, let's recap on what Friar Ramos had to say. Wait, where is the friar? He's a key witness to this crime. He scampered off as soon as he scampered as soon as he dropped the inspector off. Said he had some business to attend to. Business? Oh man, oh man, oh man. Those barricades are looking pretty scary. But I mustn't fear, for I'm a brave duck. And I'm the great Officer Beck, handsome, intelligent, strong, truly a fearless hero, who will be remembered for... Hello, officer. You scared me, monsieur, monk? Friar, actually. Friar Ramirez. Listen, officer, I have something of great importance to tell you. I was just passing by the rebel camp and I overheard a conversation. Oh, that sounds good. Do go on. They said they're going to launch an assault very soon, and when they do, they're going to rain hellfire on the palace. Oh no. It's just as I fear. What'll we do? It's simple, officer. As soon as you hear the first gunshot, you need to retaliate. Hit them with everything you got. Every cannon every rifle, every piece of artillery. Don't leave a single piece of the barricade remaining. That is the only way you can be sure to survive. Total annihilation, I like it. But, Friar, I'm confused. Aren't you a Christian? Isn't like hanging people and dissenters up on these things kind of against your thing? Yes, so what? I don't know, it's just, your idea doesn't seem very Christian-y. Oh, I see, you think this is a moral issue. Let me tell you a secret, my dear duck friend. There is no God, no overarching morality or higher plan, no heaven to save the righteous or hell to punish the sinners. There is only you, your artillery, and 10,000 rebels who want to dine on your Peking duck tonight, understand? That's an awful lot to take in. Then let me simplify. It's you or them. It's me or them. Forget about the Friar Falcon. We all remember what he had to say. Present your case based on what you can recall. Okay, I will. But you may want to wipe that mouse off your shoulder first. Sorry, wipe what? Oh, it's you, Mousy.
Friar Monsieur Falcon, special delivery from Renier Volpez.
Thank you, Mousy. What is this?
An eye patch. It was found in Ramirez's brother's clothing.
Ramirez brothers? This eye patch belonging to Judge Romulus? That's interesting. Where is Romulus?
There's no time, Monsieur. Just take it, take it. I have to run, monsieur, but you have to do your best. Monsieur Vopis and Sparrowson believe in you.
Sparrowson? You've seen Sparrowson? How is he?
There's no time, monsieur. Good luck.
Are you quite done, Falcon? Very much so. Let's begin this trial. Okay, so let's remember what the friar said. Select the statement to question. The Mademoiselle was approaching the police line with her. I think, is that a typo or is that like... That's a typo. Whoops. Her, not hes. With hes. Oh man. Like, can we make that a pronoun? I don't think that's an actual pronoun, even amongst the, non-binary people. Has hands in the air. Her hands in the air. When all of a sudden, the brute of a police inspector yelled, "Get back, you filthy rebel!" He drew his gun and shot his bird point blank through the chest. So, it would be this, point blank through the chest, because the gunshot one was in the back. Friar Ramirez claimed that the girl was shot point blank in the chest. I'm now at his. I thought it was like I thought the R was just like fancy or something, but then I saw other R's and other S's in the statement, and I'm like, nope, that was a typo. The girl was clearly shot in the back. I know, I remember seeing the bullet wound for myself, but that's quite a glaring inaccuracy in the wolf's testimony. It is an inaccuracy, but it's an irrelevant inaccuracy. What does it matter if the girl was shot in the front or the back? Either way, a girl died in this pig's hands. It does matter. If the girl were shot from the front, then this might indicate a police confrontation turned ugly. But if she were shot in the back, then what? This could indicate that somebody targeted and assassinated her before she could even react. That doesn't paint the inspector in a particularly flattering light, Falcon. Madame, you're missing the point. A shot to the back breaks the current established narrative. The girl was targeted and murdered in a stealthy professional attack. Therefore, this was not an ordinary police confrontation. You've made an assumption, Falcon. You assume that just because this girl was shot in the back that she might have been stealthily killed. But there are other possibilities. Perhaps the girl was scared of the police and started to run away and she was shot in the back as she fled. That scenario is impossible. If the girl were running away, then she would have been at least a couple of steps away from the killer at the time of the shooting, right? Right. But I know that the killer was standing right behind the victim. They were less than 1 meter apart when the gun was fired. They were standing that close? How could you possibly know that, Falcon? We saw a bloodied handprint on the girl's shoulder. What do you make of that, madame? Well, I assume that the bloody stain would belong to the victim. A mark made with the girl's dying breath, perhaps. No, it was a print of a left hand on the girl's left shoulder, near her upper back. The angle and positioning of the print indicated that it could only be made by another person. That's why I'm so certain that the killer was right behind the girl at the time of the attack. I see, that's quite a theory. But Falcon, you've left an important question unanswered. Why was the handprint bloody? The print was made with the victim's blood, yes, so it can't possibly be made prior to the shooting. The killer must have wiped his hands on the girl's clothing after she had already died. And if that's the case, then my suggested scenario is still possible. The girl may have been running from the police when she was shot. No, that's... I am still trying to work out the details, but I know that the print was made prior to the shooting. Maybe the shooter was injured, and his hand was already covered in blood? You talked big about breaking the established narrative, and now you present me with that baseless drivel. Well, where do we go from here? How does the handprint nonsense really affect the situation? Do you find something funny about this situation, Inspector? I do. This whole trial is patently absurd. It's an animal court through and through. Why don't you just call it a kangaroo court? That's what you wanted to call it, isn't it, sir? You know I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. You didn't use the word kangaroo. Okay? You get a pass. I'm watching you, though. I'm watching you. But there's something particularly funny about that last exchange. You were both so focused on when and how the handprint was made that you missed the larger issue. I don't have a left hand, you idiots! I couldn't have possibly left that mark! Oh, right. Of course. Well, madame, what do you say to that? Maybe. The handprint came from an accomplice. Or maybe it had nothing to do with the incident, or... It feels good to see someone else speculating wildly for a change. Okay, fine. I don't have solid explanation. I must concede that it's possible, maybe even likely, that the person who left the mark was the murderer. Therefore, it pains me to say it, I must concede that the inspector probably did not shoot the girl. Are there any games where you're the judge? I don't have any, no. So that's it. The inspector's off the hook. No, there's still the matter of the incident at La Halle's. What incident's this? I know nothing about it. Ha! As if you don't know. A beggar rat was shot and killed in La Halle's a few days ago. The attacker was described as a scowling police officer who wore an eye patch. Sound familiar to you? Go on, Falcon. Explain the pig out of this one. Until 5 minutes ago, I was at a loss. But I was recently presented with a piece of evidence that makes an answer all too clear. This was a false flag operation. False flag? Explain yourself, Falcon. Madame, what do you know about Ramirez's twin brother, the man known as Romulus? Not much, only that he was forced to flee the country by our oppressive government around a month ago. That's a half-truth, ma'am. You see, it is correct that Romulus is being hunted by the police. But I've had the suspicion that the wolf was lurking around Paris, in Paris itself. Although I've never managed to find definitive proof of this. Anyways, it turns out my suspicion was well-founded. He was recently apprehended, I think. You think? I don't know the details, but it doesn't matter. What's important then is that a reliable friend found this on Romulus's person just moments ago. An eye patch. Romulus has perfect vision. Why would he need something like this? There is only one possible explanation. It is the purpose of disguise. Something to conceal his identity and make him appear as someone else. A disguise? You're saying Romulus shot the beggar rat just to frame the police investigator? Exactly, madam. It's no coincidence that Friar Romulus happened to find the very same inspector just as the murder occurred today. So, Remus was in on it too. Two wolves working together to make this policeman look like a murderer. But why? Why would they do that? To rile you up, madam. To make you lust for violence. And if your actions today are anything to go by, I should say that they succeeded. Damn. I've been so stupid. How did I let myself get misled by a couple of wolves? The trial is over. Go, Inspector, you're free. It's about time. You're letting him walk, ma'am? Of course. It would be criminal to confine an innocent man any longer than necessary. Even if this man is a bitter, stubborn pig. Falcon. Yeah, yes? I don't understand you. You're stupid, you're reckless, but you fought beak and talon for my freedom. I'm starting to suspect you aren't really the Valerian killer at all. It certainly took you a long time to pass that fact through that thick skull. Inspector, if you're still hunting that villain, maybe you should speak with Renard Valpes when this is over, I mean. I hear he's been doing some research on the Viridian killer. Maybe he knows something. Maybe I will. Madam, it appears that your gang of rebel filth don't intend on insulting the palace anytime soon. I'll relay that information to the artillerymen. Maybe we can keep a peaceful standoff until this blows over. Thank you. I appreciate that. All of you, stay out of trouble.
So, what happens now, ma'am?
We're going to continue to protest, peacefully. We're going to stand here chanting and shouting until the Prime Minister and the King both step down out of sheer humiliation. It just sounds ridiculous. It might take days, weeks, but if we manage to change this country without one person getting harmed, then... Well, well, look who returned. Ma'am, I just saw the police inspector strolling out of here unharmed. Why did you let him go? That's Semiramis. We all had a discussion. And we came to the conclusion that I had been misled by a couple of wolves. Oh. How many lies have you fed me, Friar? Just how much damage have you done to further your own goals? Did you help your brother kill the beggar rat in La Halles? Did you watch the girl die by the Palace de la Concorde? Now that I think about it, even the Croque Monsieur's death was surrounded by details that made little sense. I don't know what to think anymore.
You know, this guy's a scumbag at least, ma'am. I say shoot him.
Piero's right. We won't judge you for killing this man, madam. It's all I deserve for my sins. Go ahead, ma'am. What are you waiting for? Pull the trigger. Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Pull the trigger. Do it.
Oh, God.
Join the dark side. We got cookies.
Falcon, you have proven yourself as clear judgment. What do you say? Oh, of course. All right, I'm gonna be right back. What do you guys think? We should shoot him or should we let him live? Yes, we are voting. So, basically, the Lady Lion wants to shoot the Reverend or the Friar Wolf because, like, he betrayed everyone. So, voting against me seems to be a thing. Anyways, we have one live. I thought you said live for a moment there. It's like, yeah, we are live. How did you know? So, we have one live. I don't know, man. It might come back to haunt us. I mean, his brother got away, and look what happened.
Alright, so we have one vote for Liv. One vote for Liv. One vote for Liv. One vote for Liv. Alright. Going once. Going twice. Madam, you know what the right thing to do is. Show us what kind of leader you wish to be. You're right. I said that this would be a bloodless revolution, and I can't make any exceptions, not even for a monster like this wolf. Wow. This is amazing. Completely unprecedented. You've buckled all my expectations, avoiding every temptation, and opted for an option that shouldn't even exist. Well done, madam. Well done, Falcon. You have just demonstrated the power of pacifism in its purest form. But unfortunately for both of you, you should have killed me. I'm no pacifist. Everyone, get down. Yeah. Suicide. Shooting himself in the head? What a loony. Hardly a surprise that the wolf would be too cowardly to face a real punishment. This isn't right. It's not the solution I wanted either, Falcon, but I can't say I'll mourn the friar's death. No, that's not what I meant. I meant that it doesn't make sense for him to kill himself so abruptly. And that comment of his, it was almost like, I think we need to get out of here. All of us. Right now. Oh, yeah. Because he told the artillery people that as soon as he heard a gunshot, that basically, you know, opened fire. Falcon, what are you talking about? Ah, that was a gunshot. Really close, too. I can't afford to hesitate. It's me or them. Officer, hold your fire. No way! I can't afford to take chances. It's me or them! It's me or them! Fire every cannon! Can anyone hear me? Hero, Fontaine. Hello, anyone? I'm here, madam. Falcon? Of all people. I think I made a mistake, Falcon. Where did I go wrong? Was it when I lost my temper over seeing that dead girl? Or was it earlier when I shot that prosecutor? Or was it earlier still when I first listened to that monstrous fire in the first place? I've made a lot of mistakes. We've all made mistakes, madam. Most people's mistakes don't spark bloody revolutions. Can you move, madam? I don't think so. Give me a minute. I think I can clear some of this rubble. Man, are we going to get up to, like, it's February 15th. Are we going to get up to the 20th? Dear Monsieur Vopis, I'm writing you from the Demier Railway Express. Modern technology is truly amazing. I've decided to take your advice and have gone on vacation until things settle down. The king fleeing to Britain? The Second Republic taking over? It's all crazy stuff. Anyways, before I left, you asked if I knew what happened to Falcon. Well, I got my hands on a copy of the official police report, and it says Falcon died during the attack on the barricade. But it also says the police didn't find a body, same as
Leone Beomort. Weird, huh? Rumor is that he was probably blown away by cannon fire, but that doesn't sound right to me. The Falcon I knew was tough and intuitive. I think he found a way to escape and survive. So in my opinion, he's still out there. It's possible, isn't it? Anyway, I should wrap this letter up because I'm about to reach my stop, Vienna. I'll let you know how Mademoiselle Saijin and her parents are doing. Maybe you should come pay a visit sometime. Send my regards to Mousy. Yours sincerely, Sparrowson. P.S. I am seeing a person selling a Milliandrin strudel. What is it? P.P.S. Delicious, that's what. Anyways, that's the credits. Woo! What a trip. I liked it. I really did. I'm not going to go back and play the other parts. I don't do 100% runs on this stream. I usually do, playing up till the end. If you want to see the other ends, then maybe you should buy the game. I probably will go back and probably not on stream and watch the others. This game wouldn't have been possible without you, the player. The player. But it's been 2.5 hours, so I mean it's a good stream run. So you have reached the end of Route C, Fraternite. The ending you received was determined by the decisions you made in Chapter 3. Try tackling the trial in the catacombs differently in order to see a different ending. Thank you for playing Aviary Attorney. Yeah, so basically... So that's 4C. So there's two other cases, 4A and 4B. They're determined by how I handle case 3 here. Case 1 being the tutorial case. I do like how the game was laid out. I mean, it's very simple. It didn't overstay its welcome. It was very things. I would write a review on it, but I'm kind of suspending myself from my duties for a moment. Now that I can go over in a bit in a future video. But I mean, it's a very good game. I think I would if people are curious as to what those other two endings are, I would say go ahead and get the game for yourself and try it out. Try and see if you can solve the third case in a different way. I do kind of like that concept and idea. That it's like the first case was sort of a tutorial case, and then the second case was kind of a little bit more open-ended for the Prince Swan thing. And then case 3 was okay, we're really going to open it up and let you do that. And then based upon the outcome for case 3, you'll have those 3 other side cases, which is I like that. It's good. I like branching concepts and narratives like that. This was definitely my kind of game. I'm glad I played it. I think one of the interesting thing I like about branching narrative, the first video game I ever remember that did branching narrative that really sort of was oh man, they actually kind of did the thing that I kind of envisioned branching narrative was is this game called True Crime Streets of LA. And interestingly, it's not the game is nothing really to write home about. It's very much a Grand Theft Auto clone. But the thing I liked about it was that if you were going down this route and you were doing the missions, there's missions, main story missions, and of course there's side things you can do. But if you go down a main story mission and you fail an objective in that main story mission, you can basically say continue playing the game, acknowledging the failure, and then acknowledging that failure makes the the game move forward as if you had failed that mission, and it would send you down a different path than if you had basically beaten that mission. So like I really like that, because it's like that's always been something I was like, man, you know what, like video games, like they're cool and all, but like if you fail a mission, you don't really feel like there's consequences to it, or you can't like say that like let there be the consequences for it. And like I like that kind of branching narrative thing. I didn't like the New York one. I didn't like its sequel because it got rid of that, and that was the only thing that made it really stand out. Looking back at it, the story was terrible and cheesy and kind of a little bit heavy-handed in it. Well, we could say a little heavy-handed on certain things, but like I like the concept. I like the mechanic. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Next time, we had two things that won, right? And I think this was the second one. Oh yeah, this was the second one, I think. I think the first one was the Spyro game, and then we played this because they tied. So I think next time is voting. So we're going to go back to the Mice Desert. It's been so long that I'm going to have to figure out what we were doing there, and we'll do the mouse thing. So next time will be the 26th of February. February always goes pretty quick. It's the shortest month of the year, man. So we'll go through that, and we'll have that. And on the 26th, we will go back to the deserts to vote on the next game that we're going to play. Obviously, there's going to be 3 games removed from the list, and we will remain with the games there. I'm going to try to keep the game list around, for the voting, around, I would say, 20 entries, maybe even lower than that, maybe down to 15, just to kind of get a smaller, denser sort of thing going for it, so that way people aren't so overwhelmed by the number of votes they have to do, and keep it down to sort of a minimum. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time then. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time for voting on the next video game. Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna get rid of 2 technically. We played Spyro, the Ripto's Rage. We played this one, and then we had one that lost. And basically, Spyro 2 is going to be replaced by the Year of the Dragon, Spyro 3, and that's going to be added to the list. So there's that. So we're making our way through them bit by bit. There's always more to add though. So be sure that you can always write those in on the voting thing. I'll write the voting thing up. It should be ready early for early voting as usual. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll see you next week.